In this video, we take a detailed look at a 1970s Becker lift. Becker's an epic old company, and they were a very small company. And I was thinking, I don't think I'm ever going to find a Becker lift again. The company was so small, and the horrid modernisations and replacements of the modern day generic companies are coming so fast. I actually thought I'm probably never going to find a Becker again. And guess what? I found one, and it is epic. Becker lifts are completely awesome. They're like these weird little lifts. They've got old Dewhurst buttons, not the regular sort, but the white sort of Dewhurst that you sometimes see on Marriott. It's got laminated 70s wood effect, classic of the 70s, and they also often have some weirdness to their logic. I'll come on to that later. This is a hydraulic lift. Let's start the video off by taking a ride in it. And now to the motor room. This is a hydraulic motor room. Let's take a look in the logic cabinet, and the logic is made up of, well, off-the-shelf style relays. These are older 70s ones, but these are like the more sort of off-the-shelf sort of relays you buy rather than dedicated lift relays. And they wired it up to make a logic, and it is a custom design because Becker lifts do have some oddities to their logic. A lot of other Becker lifts, but not this particular one, often just sit there with the doors open when the lift's not in use, and just sits there continually with the doors open until you press a button, then the doors close and the lift goes off. On this particular lift, although it does have an automatic door system that does close the doors when it's not in use, it seems to be quite glitchy, which is very much a thing of Becker. And when you press the floor, often it doesn't accept it unless the door's in the right position for it to accept it. And when you press the button to call the lift, often there's quite a long delay before it responds. It's a bit weird. And this logic has the baby floor selector, a miniaturised weird little generic version of the classic floor selectors, which I find these very weird looking and very interesting. Let's now make this lift move. And let's now get on top it. Now this is a hydraulic lift that is side pulled with a side chassis. Sadly on top it's not as well built as I would have hoped it was. As far as I know, other Becker lifts I've seen have been a lot better built. But nevertheless, this lift has lasted a very long time, so this is a good lift despite not having as big a chassis as I would have hoped. And it's a chain driven hydraulic, and consider that hydraulics usually don't really last as long as traction lifts. This one has lasted and it is a well built lift. One other thing worth adding about Becker logic is if ever hydraulic valves start to fail, the lift will just slowly sink and end up in the pit. The lift will not re-level with the floor until the lift is needed to be in use. Now this is better than most hydraulic logics, because most hydraulic logics keep on re-leveling the lift, which means if there's valves failing and the lift sinking, because it keeps re-leveling, that burns out the hydraulic motor, and that, as well as quite a lot of other issues that can go wrong with hydraulics, often end up with hydraulic lifts simply not lasting that long. But with this Becker lift, because it just sinks in the pit, it means that pump doesn't keep on pumping if that goes wrong, plus the pump's well built and the lift's just generally well built. So despite this being a hydraulic lift, it's actually lasted all the way from the 70s to the modern day and is still running fine, which is something you can't say about most hydraulic lifts. So this is a good lift, even though it doesn't quite have the full chassis I would have liked it to have. Let's now surf this very interesting lift.
Good, I'll take that.